Take a look at today's business headlines, and for help with that, we're going to welcome in accounting professor at Montclair State University, America's accountant, Dan Geltrude. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning, Alex.
All right, Dan, let's start with the markets closing down yesterday. Now, this morning, futures are up ahead of the opening bell, but I want to talk a little Netflix with you. Now, they will report earnings today, and investors are worried as Netflix has projected a loss of a staggering 2 million subscribers in the second quarter alone. So, Dan, what are you expecting from the report?
Well, I don't think we're going to see great news here today, Alex, related to Netflix. Although in the larger picture, Netflix has over 220 million subscribers. So they took a hit for 2 million. So you'd say, well, that's not great news, but is that the end of the world? No. However, the bigger picture here is with so many companies competing for streaming subscribers, is there enough room to have growth, not just for Netflix, but for that entire industry? So I think the way investors have to look at Netflix here is to say, all right, news is not great, but what's the future of this company? How are they going to grow? And I think that's the real question that Netflix and others streaming companies are going to have to address.
That's a fantastic point, Dan. Now, banks, they're also taking a hit. Goldman Sachs saying yesterday that profit fell 47% in the second quarter. Bank of America dropping 32%. And then JP Morgan suspended buybacks. So, Dan, what is hurting banks right now?
Well, here's the ironic thing. Goldman Sachs, terrible numbers that they're putting out, as you just made reference to, yet the stock price is up. How does that happen? Well, they performed poorly, but not as poorly as anticipated. So what do we see in the future here? Well, we see rising interest rates. Generally speaking, that's good news for banks because they make their money on loans, the difference between loans and savings accounts, right? So that spread is where the profits are. So generally speaking, when interest rates are rising, it's a good thing for banks. Many of the banks took a hit because they needed to increase their reserves on their loans. What does that mean? In case loans go bad, we need to prepare for that and reserve some money. Banks took a big hit on that. Hopefully they won't have to use those reserves.
Oh, thank you so much for breaking that down, Dan. How about this? Mega Millions lottery is now at $530 million. Okay, so Dan, you are an accounting professor. So what advice do you have for the potential winners, considering, as you know, so many lottery winners actually end up going broke?
Yeah, it's 70% of lottery winners go broke. That is an incredible number, and it's almost hard to fathom. Why does it happen? Generally speaking, people have all this money, and they go on a wild spending spree, and they just spend it all. They're not used to having those types of funds, how many people are, so they don't know what to do. First thing that you need to do, if you are a winner, you call an accountant and you call an attorney to advise you. But that aside, just a few points for that lucky winner out there. Could be you, Alex. All right, what you want to do is, if you're in a state that allows you to stay anonymous, that's a great thing. Stay anonymous. Don't let people know who you are. Everybody will be asking you for money, charities, families, that long-lost uncle. Everybody's coming to you for money. Next thing you want to do, pay off those debts, get a budget, get your financial house in order. Don't go crazy.
All right, Dan. Well, I think I need to buy a lottery ticket because you have a little faith in me that I could possibly be the big winner. Dan Geltrude, thank you so much for coming on this morning. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Alex.
Up